Hey guys, we will be looking into Johnny Depp big win as Amber Heard counterclaim gets destroyed. Johnny Depp claims that Hollywood is boycotting him, but a Virginia judge recently handed the Minamata star a significant victory in his $50 million defamation lawsuit against Amber Heard. The Aquaman star, who was already pursuing a $100 million counterclaim, attempted a Hail Mary move in April to have Fairfax County Chief Judge Penney Azcarate dismiss the 2-year-old case based on her ex-husband losing a libel trial in the UK late last year against Rupert Murdoch's The Sun tabloid's designation of the Oscar nominee as a wife-beater. As a result, Depp failed in his attempt to have the British verdict overturned on appeal. Now, for the third time in a row, Heard has come up short in his attempt to send the Old Dominion matter packing. The court is not persuaded by the defendant's argument that plaintiff had a full and fair opportunity to litigate the UK action. Azcarate wrote in a lengthy decision issued today. Read it here. Defendant was not a part of the UK action and was not treated as such, she adds, though it should be noted that both Heard and Depp testified in London on their respective points of view on the various allegations of his abusive behavior. She was not subject to the same discovery rules applicable to named parties because she was not named a defendant, the judge determined. In fact, defendant could not have been a named defendant in the UK litigation because her allegedly defamatory statements were made after the UK action commenced, Azcarate said, referring to Heard's December 2018 Washington Post op-ed, which sparked Depp's legal action not long after. Then, noting that comparisons between free speech in the United Kingdom and free speech in the United States are untenable in this case, Azcarate twisted the point even further. Defendant argues she was in privity with The Sun because they both had the same interest in the case, she wrote. However, for privity to exist, defendant's interest in the case must be so identical with The Sun's interest that The Sun's representation of its interest is also a representation of defendant's legal right. Azcarate added in her sometimes scathing opinion, at one point calling Heard's assertions puzzling. The Sun's interests were based on whether the statements published by the newspaper were false. The 10-page opinion letter continues. Defendant's interests are in determining whether the statements she published were false. Mr. Depp is very pleased with the court's decision, the actor's lawyer Ben Chu of Brown Rudnick's DC office told Deadline tonight, with brevity and understatement. Depp, who was fired from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them earlier this year, has won his second legal battle against Heard in almost as many weeks. A New York judge ruled earlier this month that Depp could conduct a determination if his Rum Diary co-star did, in fact, donate a portion of their $7 million divorce settlement to the ACLU, as she has publicly stated. After being postponed several times due to the pandemic and other factors, the Virginia case is now scheduled to go to trial in April. The initial suit claimed that Heard's WAPO piece cost the Jack Sparrow actor a role in Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean reboot, but it also claimed that Depp was the true victim of the couple's brief marriage. While the op-ed never mentioned Depp by name, the couple's downward spiral ended in full public view in 2016, with the actor paying his now ex-wife large sums of money that she could have donated to charity. Miss Heard is not a victim of domestic abuse. She is a perpetrator, Depp's suit stated in the spring of 2019. Since the filing, Depp and his team have repeatedly stated that Heard has been lying about any abuse at the actor's hands, as evidenced by a steady stream of media leaks and footage. Prior to filing her countersuit, Heard had not only tried repeatedly and unsuccessfully to have the case dismissed, but she had also requested that it be moved to another jurisdiction, which did not go so well. Depp, on the other hand, attempted to undermine the UK case and Heard's credibility by claiming that his ex did not donate all of the $7 million she received in their divorce to LA Children's Hospital Foundation and the American Civil Liberties Union, a claim that is partially true, according to Heard's top lawyer at WME. Amber has already been responsible for 7 figures in charitable donations and intends to continue to contribute and eventually fulfill her pledge, Elaine Bredihoff of Riston, VA told Deadline on January 7 this year. However, Amber has been delayed in that goal because Mr. Depp filed a lawsuit against her, and as a result, she has been forced to spend millions of dollars defending Mr. Depp's false accusations against her. The attorney continued, ignoring the timeline stumbling block and focusing on media stories that slam her client. The bitter case has dragged in not only the ACLU, but also Disney, the LAPD, and Elon Musk, with broad subpoenas from both sides. Because of the judge's decision today, it is likely that more big names will be added to this before it is over. Amber Heard, a 30-year-old actress, appeared in a Los Angeles court in May 2016 to seek a restraining order against her husband, Hollywood star Johnny Depp. As she walked out of the building, she was surrounded by photographers, journalists, and film crews. There was what appeared to be a mark on her cheek. The court was also shown photos of what appeared to be facial bruising. She claimed Depp violently attacked her and threw a cell phone at her face with extreme force in a rage. There were also allegations of additional instances of domestic violence. She described excessive emotional, verbal, and physical abuse, as well as angry, hostile, humiliating, and threatening assaults. Depp denied the allegations of abuse. 4 years later, the couple was in court again, this time in London. This was not the case for Amber Heard, who had not chosen to be here. Depp had filed a libel suit against The Sun, a British newspaper. His claim that the allegations of physical abuse were an elaborate hoax was at the heart of the case. Depp hired one of the country's most well-known libel barristers to try to disprove the claims. Heard arrived at court every day for the next 3 weeks, walking past her ex-fans, husbands who were convinced that their hero was the victim, and she had assaulted him. In court, her story, photos, memories, and the accounts of her friends were all exposed to the world, and Depp's team and supporters claimed that it was all part of a plot to falsely prove that he was a wife-beater, as The Sun had claimed in April 2018. It wasn't just the fans and the media who were keeping a close eye on things. Lawyers were already wondering what impact his victory would have on women who came forward with claims of domestic violence if he won. Every day, Johnny Depp would arrive to cheers outside. However, his behavior and lifestyle were scrutinized, and a judge has now ruled that The Sun's allegations were substantially true. A woman holding a cardboard box approached me and handed me a small brown envelope. Inside was a black and white bandana and a thank you note from Johnny Depp. The woman, who was part of the actor's entourage, vanished into the court as fans and onlookers all around me began to inspect their new scars. This was an unusual court case. The rest of the country was on lockdown, buses and streets in central London were deserted. And yet, there was a crowd, sometimes more than 200 strong, outside the Royal Courts of Justice. Some wore masks, but when Johnny Depp arrived, all attempts at social distance vanished in the rush to catch a glimpse of him. It was even stranger inside the High Court. The Royal Courts of Justice are massive, Gothic, and solemn. It has stone arches and hushed tones, and it was nearly empty in July. I say almost because there were a few people. A handful of journalists hurrying through security, as well as a scattering of Depp fans lingering in the corridors and passages. One woman showed me her arms, which were covered in Johnny Depp tattoos. Every day, another man dressed as Jack Sparrow, the star of Pirates of the Caribbean, arrived. Then every day around 10 a.m., they would congregate at the door to Court 13. They would offer messages of support as Depp walked by, and near the end of the case, he was seen giving them all a hug. That's all we had for you today. Hope you enjoyed the show. If so, please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the subscribe button. Also, show us some love by clicking on the like button below and sharing the video with your friends and family. Turn on the notification button to get updates on our new videos. That's all we had for today. Bye. See you next time in the upcoming video.